stop.
Hello and good morning and welcome to another Mod Morning Tea Session. So yesterday we tried out a bunch of little tweaks and stuff, and some of them I've kept and some of them I've removed. The pathing mod that we put on, that's been removed because configuring it just wasn't making any change. It just wasn't working. It may be a conflict with another mod, or maybe that mod is just broken. One of the two. So that's been pulled. That's gone. We no longer need it. It's fine. It was purely an aesthetical thing. So yeah, that's gone. Optifine has also been removed from the pack. You could put it back on, but it conflicts with Twilight Forest and it conflicts with a bunch of other mods in 1.16.5. So that being removed has fixed a lot of world generation issues that I was having before. So that's been resolved. But between last night and today, I have been working on this, which is my to-do list. I did have it all before, but it was all written on scraps of paper, so that wasn't that organized. So I've converted it over to being digital. It's on the same area as the voice work assignments. Anything here that's in white has been assigned to somebody. Anything that's still black is still up for grabs for people to have. So the announcer mail, I have a question mark next to it because I'll probably end up doing it. So that's that one. All of this section here, we don't have any voices for. Blacksmith mail is going to be done by my good friend Tom McFadden. The female builder, we have no one for that yet, but I'm guessing it may be Nimril. The male builder, the two asterisks are there to signify that I'm going to have a go at it. And then general citizen female, there is none. And then citizen male, there's none. And then the male enchanter, we have lag monster. Clever male general, we've got none yet, but I'm assuming it may also end up being a lesser speckled lag monster for that. And then the female enchanter, we have Tink. And the female general that's clever, we have Tink again. And then the deep male is being passed over to a guy called Rid. I can't remember his, like, how to pronounce his full IGN. Sorry about that, man. It's early as well. Like, I'd probably absolutely butcher it, to be honest. And then delivery man female. It's weird. It should be delivery person, but they're called delivery man. Apologies. Is Tink. And then the male version is Knight. And then the female farmer is Nimril. And at some point, I'm going to be teaching Nimril how to do the West Country accent, which will be fun. I don't know whether we'll do that as a live stream or whether we'll just do that like in private. It depends on how comfortable Nimril is. And then the farmer male will be myself. And then fisherman female has no one yet. And then I'm going to have a go at the fisherman male. Foreigner male is going to be Chuck, hopefully. I still need to speak to him about it, which I'll do after stream. And then female foreigner, I believe Nimril has a person that she knows that she's going to speak to about getting that one done. The guard knight female, that has no one as of yet either. Guard knight male is going to be done by my good friend 𝗘𝗡𝗜𝗚𝗠𝗚. Absolutely looking forward to hearing what he comes up with that. Guard ranger male has none. Lumberjack female will be Nimril. Lumberjack male has no one yet. Miner female has no one. Miner male knight's path wants to have a go at doing that. And then the smelter female. Where do I have that as white? I'm not sure why I have that down as white. I think that still needs someone doing it. And the smelter male needs doing as well. So we're about 50-50 at the moment. About 50% of the way through. Not in terms of thing, just in terms of assignment. There's a lot of voice lines for people to record, and I am truly thankful for everybody that's decided to have a go at doing them. Because it's not a small task, you know, you've got like, on average, around 200 voice lines for each person. So somebody that's taking on like 3, you've got around, give or take, 600 on average. It changes on, you know, what the thing is, but give or take, it's about 600 if you take on 3. And of course, if you do 3, you have to make all 3 sound different as well, which is always, you know, a challenge. So our to-do list, we need to alter our season lengths if at all possible. It's not a big priority, it's a medium set priority. Increase the timings for research levels at the university, which is also... I said, I don't feel good. I couldn't get the recordings done last night. Sorry. No worries, Knight. That's not a problem. There's not a rush with this. I'm still doing a lot of the early development, so it's not like it's a big deal. So, yeah, increase the time in the research levels at the university. That's a medium. We're going to be doing a little bit of customization for our townsfolk in a moment. Disable exotic birds from spawning in Atom. I need to go to Atom to double check that they are definitely spawning there, and if they are, we need to disable Atom, the Atom dimension in exotic birds. Finish unifying all the ores. We've done most of them. We did most of them yesterday, but there's a couple that I missed. A couple of things that I did between last night and today. I disabled entity pickup entirely. You can no longer pick up any entities. You can just pick up chests, barrels, block-related stuff that you've put down. That had an interesting problem with picking up some animals that just kind of rendered a little bit odd or inappropriate, so that had to be changed. Remove gusters. I completely removed gusters, which is part of Alex's mobs from spawning. They were cool. They're a fun mob, but I don't want to heavily penalize somebody for wanting to build in a desert, and gusters would do that. They're an aggressive mob, and they spawn quite heavily in deserts, so that had to go. Better vanilla models. That's a low priority one. Hey, Nim! Hope you're having a lovely morning / afternoon where you are. Better vanilla models is on a low priority. it's kind of one of those things, the better vanilla models. I know that it detracts somewhat from vanilla, but again, as I always say with making a mod pack, if you want something to be like vanilla, just play vanilla. Mod packs exist to be mod. That's what they are. I am mod. Better vanilla models, though, if you look at the octopus that gets put in from one of the things, it looks so much better than the default squid. And when you look at like a sheep next to a goat, the goat model looks a lot more, there's a lot more polygons to it, and the sheeps are basically just 6 cubes, or was it 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 cubes strapped to each other, so that, you know, it's we'll try and get some better models at some point, but it's a low priority. Better vanilla villagers. I'd like to get some more dynamic villagers in. I did somewhat on Legends of Randomia, which was a lot of fun. I think this could do with more player skin related, well, I say player skin, but player model type villagers, because then it will match up with the colonies that you make, so it doesn't look like 2 completely different species. We need to disable Better Weather's Acid Rain because it conflicts with 𝗥𝗚𝗘𝗖𝗞. So that's something that is a high priority, because if we have Better Weather's Acid Rain starting before you've polluted anything, that's gonna be a bit weird, so that needs to be removed. We need to alter the Better Diving spawn rates, because I kind of feel like the Better Diving spawn rates are too bad at the moment. We need to configure Mousie's mobs biome spawning, because I don't think it works that well with biomes you go. So it's a lot rarer than what I want it to be, or a lot more rare than I want it to be. So we need to go through that and check those. There we go. Adjust the weights of Arise. That's something that I need to do. There is, dependent on what biome you're in, there is way too many of them that spawn. Add mob dependent requests for obtaining new villagers. Now this is an important one. By default, the colony people, when you're wanting to get a new villager, they will ask for an item. So you go over to a villager or a visitor to your colony and you're like, hey, I like the look of you. Want to join my colony? And they're like, yeah, sure. But bring me 2 gold ingots, or bring me 3 enchanted books. And it's based roughly on what their skill set is. I want to hook that in with some of the other mod things. So rather than saying, hey, sure, I'll join your colony, but bring me 2 gold ingots, want some of the rarer ones that are more that have a higher base stats, when you try and recruit them, might say, hey, yeah, I'll join your colony, but bring me a blue jay in a cage. So you have to go out hunting for an exotic bird and bring it back in a cage to get that person to stay. So that's something that we need to do. We need to restore Chunk Animator, which I've just done. I'm not sure if it will work. We'll fire up the game relatively soon to find out. Create the TRG iconography for the main menu. That's a low priority thing that I need to speak to Nimrel about, because it's something that I'd have to work closely with her for. Because so one of the ideas for this, guys, all of these mod packs, I'm working on some. I know Nimrel's working on 1 or maybe 2, I can't say, but definitely 1, is they're getting made by the randoms. And one of the things that I like to do is unify the main menu to have an area in the bottom right or the bottom left that's similar to, so on the main menu at the moment in Once Upon a Time in Arcadia, there's a credits section, and I'd like to replace that with a logo that you can click on that takes you through, so you can find out which person made the stuff, but it also has things like our socials and stuff on there as a little nod to all of the randoms and stuff, because it's mostly those guys that are going to be playtesting these mod packs, and it is a random venture, as most things in life. And I need to update the Arcadia resource pack with the new sound files and GUI. So that's a high priority, but I've got to wait on the sounds from everybody for that. That's going to be a much lengthier process. So yeah, that's not going to be done for a while. But what we can do right now is we can take a look at the Mine Colonies config, which is here. There is some stuff in here that we can change. Another thing that I want to change, and we might do it today, is if we scroll down, there we go. This line here, on line 232, is diseases. So we can create some diseases, define how rare they are, and also state what is required to heal those diseases. So naturally, I want to put a disease in there that requires tea, because of course I do. I might increase smallpox, the chance of smallpox slightly to like 3, and make the 𝗘𝗡𝗜𝗠𝗦 1, just so it's weighted nicer. But if any of you have any ideas, and I'd prefer fantasy-based things, like not like if somebody comes in, they're like, hey, add COVID in, I'm not going to do that. Games are supposed to be an escape from life. They're escape from your mundane day-to-day grind. I don't want to add things in that remind people of the real world so much. So if you have any ideas of any sort of mythical or legendary diseases or ailments, you can let me know in the chat during this stream. I will try and add them in if I notice. But I'm definitely want to add in a tea-related one at some point. So that's something that we want to do. One of the other things we want to do is we want to configure the recruitment items. So here we go. Dragon pox. What does dragon pox do? Like, let's find like if we can sort of, I know we can't define necessarily what it does, but if we can at least meta discuss what it does, we can figure out the rarity and what it might take to fix it. It's the Harry Potter version of smallpox. Ah, I see we have a pothead in. I think there might be a better word for that. What does it do, Dragonpox? It's been, I have watched like the movies, and I think I read like the first couple of books, but this is a long time ago, and Mr. Enigma has not a great memory. The boils are gruesome, so it's essentially like smallpox. It's just fantasy smallpox. What do they use to heal it? It's probably just pissing magic, isn't it? Goddamn Harry Potter and his magic. Get out of here, you magic. Okay, so let's put a comma in, do that. So Dragonpox. Okay. We'll set the rarity to 1 for this, and then we need to just define what it would take to heal it. So, I mean, it sounds quite interesting. It doesn't have to be 2 items. It can be 1. Just so you know. So, config... Okay, so down here, whilst I'm waiting on Nimrod to respond there. Config list of recruitment items. This is what they ask for, essentially. It's more like chickenpox with a higher fatality, but greenish and gross and can leave scars. Okay. Okay. So it's somewhere in between sort of smallpox and measles. So let's move that, because I kind of want it to go down in terms of deadliness, right? Actually, we'll just undo again. Okay, let's put that there. Now what we'll do is we'll put this in here instead. We'll give it a weight of 5, I guess. I think, yeah, that sort of sits in between then a sort of smallpox and... in terms of items, what would be the best thing to heal Dragonpox, guys? If you had Dragonpox and you lacked the magical ability, I suppose it could just be a potion of healing or something. The other thing you have to remember is... Let me just go check Polymer, you absolute nerd. Alright, you go do that. Whilst Nimrod is checking those, I'm going to... actually, let's make sure we keep that line selected. So this is a list of the stuff that is required for recruitment. We have 2 hay blocks. A potion of fire resistance. Yes. Yes. I will get the thing for that. I will need to find what the thing is. I think it will probably just be potion fire resistance or fire resistance _ potion. But I'll figure out, I'll go in and I'll find out what it requires, like what the ID is for potion of fire resistance, and then we'll insert that there. So the config list for recruit mines: 2 hay bales, 2 books, 9 enchanted books, 9 diamonds, 8 emeralds, 1 baked potato, 2 gold ingots, 2 redstone, 2 lapis lazuli. So this is cakes, sunflowers, honeycomb, quartz. So these are the default things. We want to add in some more that are going to be mod related. They'll probably be mostly exotic birds, because I want to encourage the player to go out into the world and explore. 1, because you'll find new blocks, and 2, because you will risk more death going out into the world, and that's always what you do as the developer, right? You want to risk reward. You want to increase the risk whenever you're wanting to give them a reward. What up, Sir Durple? Welcome to the stream, man. Hope you're having a nice morning / afternoon. So lucky ores, Minecraft coal ore. Yeah, these are essentially things that can be found magically. It's by like an ore chance related thing, which we're probably going to add copper into as well. So this whole section here is pretty much all going to get a little bit of it's going to get expanded a fair bit. To plug it in with some of the other mods and stuff like that. So we need to go and get like a bunch of IDs. Before we do anything, we need to go get a bunch of IDs. We need to load up the game. So let's do that, shall we? Not bad at all. Love the new thumbnail, by the way. Thank you very much. It certainly wasn't made in a rush 10 minutes before the stream. Honest. I was really running out of time this morning. I woke up, made a cup of tea, had a shower, got out, and was like, man, I was in the shower way longer than I thought. So if the game crashes at this point, it's because I added in chunk animator. It shouldn't crash, but you never know. It's Java, guys. What can you do? This is not a great programming language. Potion of fire resistance. Apparently it's not always curable. There's no way of me making a not curable disease. There's no chance-based thing for it. The other thing that we have to remember when we're doing this is that it needs to be something that can be harvested or created. So there's an enchanter that can do potion brewing and stuff like that. So potions are fine. The reason it has to be like that is because the hospital will require those items to be in stock to fix the ill citizens when they go there themselves without you having to interfere. So the hospital gets its stock from the warehouse, which is done by the delivery person. So the delivery person travels around the town. They'll collect the potions from the enchanter. They'll then take that to the warehouse. And then when the hospital needs them, they will then take them to the hospital and say, here's your potions. So everything plugs in. whilst we're waiting on this to load up, this is just going to essentially just be a little me and Nemril talk. How is the menu going for your... I'm not going to say well it is, but your mod pack that you're making in secret? Because I know that yesterday when I was talking to you, you were saying that the menu was giving you some trouble, and there was a lot of renaming and stuff, and configuring it all to make it work properly. Start from scratch again, huh? Well, this is the third one, right? Third time's the charm. I think that's what the saying says. Third time's the charm. I'm sure it'll work out fine this time. I had a new idea, and I'm running with it. Okay, let's turn down the in-game sounds. As I do love the music, obviously, I put it in, but I don't want it to be blaring everybody in the face right now. One of the other things that I need to do is I need to update this logo slightly. It blends a little bit too much into the background. I want to add some purplish tones in to make it out of the screen a little bit more. So that needs to be added to our to-do list, which we will do once we've done a little bit of testing in game to find out all of these IDs. Please do ignore how long it takes for it to read the world data on this world. That is because I have not cleaned out all of the stuff that I have since fixed for this world. Because I don't want to corrupt or damage this world in any way. This is what I'm using to test out a bunch of stuff. So ignore this. The regular worlds load considerably faster than this one. What was wrong with the old one, Nim? What went wrong with your old menu animation? Was it just too big, or did you just decide that it wasn't looking as good as what you wanted, or what? Like, what was the problem there? It worked, I just don't like it. Okay, so it just wasn't up to your standards. Nemril is a very tough taskmaster, even to herself. I'll keep it and show you. Okay, yeah, definitely. After today's tea session, I will, as always, be in armchair conversations. One of the things, guys, is I have actually remembered to put the Discord link in the description of this time. You're welcome? I think you're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so we have a lot more pollution spreading at this point. It's slowly sort of spreading throughout the world. As I'm not really doing anything to prevent it from occurring. So one of the things that we need to do is we need to find out what the ID is for a fire resistance potion. Oh, wait, just you can't just be Minecraft potion. I don't know how to load in tags specific tags for MBT data. So that's an interesting one. We may have to revisit that one. Let's have a look through these. I kind of like the idea that one of the people just asks for a fedora. That amuses me. A blobfish might be fun. If someone asks for a blobfish, like a bucket of blobfish. Because they're relatively... I mean, you can find them, but they're not that easy to find. So we are currently in spring, so the ice around our island is currently melting. There is no snow on the island because I turned weather off in this world. There would ordinarily be stuff, though. One of the other things that I have changed between yesterday and today that I forgot to mention is there are now glow squids in the game, and they have been configured so they give glow ink sacs, and you can craft glowing item frames with them. So that was kind of the only thing that we were really missing from 1.17. I mean, there's the Guardian and the Skulk sensors and stuff like that, but they are also missing in, you know, vanilla 1.17 essentially. So we have added in some more stuff into the oceans as well, so it just generates this stuff naturally here and there. Kind of like add in a little bit of coral where there is no coral reefs that are essentially like plants and stuff. Those are purely aesthetical, though. One of the other things is, if I was in survival right now, we would see... There's a thing down here. We would see that the drowns actually swim as opposed to walking in the water. Drowns now swim, so they actually have a swim animation similar to what they do on Bedrock. Not too sure why Java doesn't have that by default. It kind of makes sense that they would be there, but, you know, whatever. We now have that, because I kind of, yeah, I feel it was missing. Yeah, so blobfish are pretty difficult to find. Because they only spawn in certain oceans, so you'd have to go on a bit of a journey. There is a whale. What have we got there? It's a red grouper. The blobfish are pretty obvious as well, because they are blob-like. It's also pretty difficult to see down here by default. There are some artifacts that you can find. Oh, there we go. There's a blobfish. So yeah, we might set bucket of blobfish as one of the things that is required. Herons. Mostly because it's just a very ugly fish. I don't think like many people like it. It doesn't like it's a poisonous fish. It doesn't hurt you. Like if you're in survival, I don't think it like attacks you like a pufferfish does. But if you eat it, it's not that healthy for you. So it will kind of give that like a purpose to go out and specifically search for one. We have a fisherman now. They require fishing rods, and they eventually, yeah, they catch, and they catch all the different types of fish. They don't just catch cod and salmon. So that's nice. One of the other things that is in here, which is added because of Quark, is if you watch them fish, you can actually see when a fish is trailing towards the fishing hook. So you'll see a an animation going in. Don't look at me. Look at the fish. She is using a relatively basic rod with nothing on, so it may take a short while. But I believe that this is a feature of Quark, if I remember correctly. There we go. You can see the trail, and then when it reaches it, it'll go across. I have no idea what she just caught. It looked like a block. Yeah, it was. It was some driftwood, I think. Yeah, some driftwood. Driftwood is a block that is added in from one of the mods. Unique something. Unique Aqua or something like that. Unique Aquatic. That's it's just a nice feature, like out in the sea, floating around. Won't be for a while because this is an old gen world, but floating out in the oceans are floating bits of driftwood. And when you're fishing, there is a chance that you will accidentally get driftwood. I say accidentally, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good block. There we go. There's a bunch of stuff you can make with it. So we have chests, signs, ladders, you know, the usual sort of stuff. So aquaculture also has in driftwood, but that comes inside stuff, and it just gives you some oak. We may disable that from existing, but it doesn't really hurt catching a different type of driftwood. It kind of makes sense that there might be some newer driftwood here and there. One of the other things that I have added to our village is we have a bakery, and we just got celebrated apparently finishing the upgrade for our log cabin. So we have a bakery. The bakery will essentially take wheat, if I remember correctly, from the farm to bake bread as our baker. I don't know if there is... Yeah, I don't know if anybody's got assigned the male baker voice yet. Have a little look here. Baker male. No one has been assigned the baker male or baker female voice yet. So bakers are kind of... Yeah, they're kind of freeform at the moment.
What do you need? I could help you with that.
Not the best sound file there at the moment, so it's definitely something that does need changing. We have also upgraded a bunch of other stuff within the town. We've got a barracks. We have our guard tower. So eventually I'll probably hook this up to a wall, and then I'll curve the wall around, and then I'll put another tower over here to protect the fishing thing, because that's gonna be slightly exposed. And then we'll continue the wall around the back. We'll probably put the mining camp here, because that's going to need a lot of testing as well. So, bird cage. We need to actually put something in the bird cage. So let's go to exotic mobs, or exotic birds. Exotic birds. I could search it in the thing. I'm aware that I could search it in the thing. But I'm not going to. What are you going to do about it? There's nothing you can do about it. Fight me. Rats upgraded most eventually doing it. Craft. I think it was like a thing or an egg. No, that's Alex's mobs. There it is. Exotic bird spawns. Flamingo, woodpecker, an owl, peafowl, blue jay, cardinal, robin, crane, pigeon, penguin, swan, duck, toucan, kiwi, lyrebird, heron, Goldian, cockatoo, pelican, roadrunner, a gull, an ostrich, a kingfisher. A kingfisher might be fun to do. Kookaburra, magpie, hummingbird, and a macaw. A hummingbird is probably going to be the nicest one, because they spawn, I think, in most biomes. They're also probably one of the more nimble ones, so that makes it a little bit more entertaining to try and... Oh yeah, I can only catch it in spy window. I think I'm hungry as well. So I might need to grab some food before I do this. Damn, I missed him. That is upsetting. Got him, okay. Okay, so that's MBT tag based as well. So I'm gonna need, I think it's MBT tag viewer, which is a mod so you can actually see the MBTs. So that's going to be another thing that we need to sort, and it'll be for that and for the fire resistance potion. Oh, so if you just get rid of those, don't need any of that. If you look at the tag, it's just Minecraft : potion. The type of potion is defined via its MBT data, which we can't see. We can press Control to view the stuff, but that's just the item tags to do with create and item filters. It doesn't actually show you the MBT data with this, so we'll need to get that. The same with this, the hummingbird. We'll need the MBT data for that. Let's go into exotic birds, because we could maybe just add an egg in. I think they could ask for an egg as well. Eggs are actually probably more difficult because when you find an egg, so if we go over here, let's try and find an egg a second. It will be a question mark. You need to have the machine to identify it. So that will add in a whole new... Here we go. So here we have a bird nest. So if we break that, there we go. So the egg that we have is a mystery egg. We don't know what it is. And we won't know what it is until we put it into one of these, which is an egg analyzer. So that goes into there. And then I don't know what goes in there. It might be redstone. Have a look. Redstone or glowstone. I imagine it's probably redstone dust. Yeah, there we go. So that has to go. Yeah, you have to make this machine. On top of it, it's not a complicated machine to make. So I think that's probably okay. So that's a gull egg. So that might be a fun thing to force them to do, is have it where the villagers ask for a specific egg. That will encourage the player to go out and explore. We won't be messing around with MBT data for it. So that gets rid of that problem. One of the other things is because we have removed... Hey yo! To Magic, and also welcome Oliver. Welcome to the stream, guys. Hope you're having a nice morning / afternoon, wherever you may be. Actually, I think for the Magician, it's probably late at night or evening. Definitely late evening. Yes, removing obs are fine. Also means that Twilight Forest now works correctly, as it wasn't before, right? So that has been amended. Also, you'll see that the chunk animator, when we're moving around things, rather than just sort of like popping in, they animate upwards. That now works nicely. We no longer have that issue. So that's all done. Yes, it is. Yeah, I figured it probably was. So yeah, we're gonna have an egg, but the question is what egg? That's the real question, isn't it? Is what egg? We could also have it where they ask for a bird cage. So we have spawn chances. I don't want it to be... I don't want them to be super rare, I don't think. Thank you. Yeah, it's fun. I enjoy it. 30, 30, 30, 30, 30. I think maybe all of these say 30. Because the gull is there. Although I think ours was common gull, right? Did I throw away the egg? Did I keep the egg? Did I throw it away? Yeah, variant is common gull. But it's still a gull egg. Can I just... Oh no, that just breaks it. Okay, so you need to also have the egg... egg incubator, right? To be able to incubate these. That requires blaze powder by the look of it. So let's grab some blaze powder and have a little look at how that works. We've done a lot of checking for the rest of the colony stuff. We've not done a lot of checking for some of the things that now we can hook in to our colony. So this is our egg being incubated. Oh, okay. So that takes some time. Oh, it's spawn chance. So the spawn chance was 50, right? It's now 60. So every time it goes up, does it increase the spawn chance? And then when you throw the egg, it goes in. Yes. I see. I see. Okay, that I like. I like that. That's really cool. So basically, the egg incubator makes it where the egg increases its spawn chance each time. So that when you take the egg out and try and hatch it, it hatches correctly. So when this gets to 100, we will take it out and try and put it onto the floor. And then we will decide what egg we want our villager to ask for and how many. Because of course, how many is going to be a real... Hello, Mr. Pigeon. What are you doing? Just 𝗘𝗡𝗜𝗏's like, hey, I hear you're going to hatch an egg. Can I watch? It's like adult bird stuff. Okay, we're at 90% now, so the next one will be 100. Let's get rid of those. Okay, so we should be at 100 now. Yep. So, there we go. So we get a little gull. Now, if we go down and find gull in here... There we go. So we now know what the egg is. We know what it takes to breed them. It can't be tamed. Biome list isn't currently available, so we don't know which biomes they go into. There we go. We have a little baby seagull. Let's give it some seeds. Oh. Yeah, of course. So, one thing to remember is when mobs eat and you're breeding them and stuff like that. Is a gull the same as a seagull but not on water? Essentially, yeah. So as you can see, we produce carbon. There we go. So now we have a big gull. An adult gull. And yeah, he has produced some carbon emissions because as anything exists and grows up, it produces carbon, which will now get added to our pollution, which at some point we're going to need to clean up. But for now, it's fine. Three lots of carbon is what it took for Mr. Gull to grow up. Okay, so we have some eggshells, which you don't need. Bird farts. Yes, they are bird farts. That's exactly what they are. So I think... I know that roadrunners spawn in the desert. Ostrich might be a fun one. Ostriches are also super cool. I've been really enjoying ostriches. One of the reasons is if I find them, is this organized? Oh, it's not organized alphabetically. There we go. You can put a saddle on an ostrich, and I genuinely think that they are better than horses. So let's just, there we go. So we can ride this thing around, and it moves pretty quick, right? But if you jump with it, oh, you can get some serious speed, like just quake jumping around. Lots and lots of fun to ride around on. So, you know, I mean, why wouldn't you want to be riding on this? It's way more fun than a horse. So yeah, they're really cool. So I might have it where they ask for an ostrich egg. That will force the player to go on a little journey. So we'll do an ostrich egg. So let's get the ID for that. So it's just exotic birds, ostrich _ egg. So what we want to do is open up our config. Recruitment items, which is this area here. We will add to the end. So exotic birds. And then it was ostrich _ egg. And we will put that as 1. There we go. So you would have to go to a desert. You would have to then find what you think is an ostrich egg. And then analyze that egg to be able to know that it's an ostrich egg. And then you'll be able to trade it with him to recruit him. So that one's a little bit, that's a bit more of a trickier sort of thing. So when you go over to one of these now, it'll be in there. So this guy wants quartz. Quartz is a good one. It forces you to go to the nether. Well, actually, it doesn't really. Not in this pack. You can find quartz in the overworld. It's just not as common. So inside here, we have our guy, and he currently is suffering from influenza. So that's always fun, right? Who doesn't like influenza?
Right away.
Let's just give him those. Can you breed the birds to produce specific eggs? Yes, you can, but you need to know what they eat. So we have different birds in here, so you'd have to make this book to find out what the birds like to breed using, and then you'll get the mystery egg, and then you can analyze it to make sure that that is the correct egg. Okay, so he's now healing. So one of the things that we want to do is we want to get some tea. I think we might just go like with the tea bag as opposed to a full cup of tea. No, we'll make them do a full cup of tea. So this is a Simply Tea cup _ tea _ black. I am definitely going to need my notepad. My memory is not good enough to remember all of these things. Okay, so it is Simply Tea. Simply Tea : cup _ tea _ black. So we're going to have that as one of the healing items for a disease we're going to come up with for our village. Mostly because I want to force every player to have tea. Any player that plays should have tea. It's a must-have. All the rage. So that's something we'll do. So slightly further up here, we have... Okay, so at the moment we have dragonpox. So that, at the moment, is just requiring the same as smallpox. We will add in... we'll add in a specific thing for that. At some point, I need to get an MBT tag checker. Okay, so we know that this wants to be pretty rare. It wants to have a rarity of 1. And the thing to heal is going to be a simply 𝗘_cut_T_black. It's not going to require another item, it's just going to be that on its own. And then I've got to come up with a name for it. So a tea-related ailment. For now, I'm just going to call it brain fart until I can decide on an actual name. But that's going to be a thing there. So we have exotic birds added in. I want to put in a bucket of blob fish as well. So that's Alex's mobs, :blobfish _bucket. Okay, so now a villager will ask, on the off chance, will ask for you to bring them a blobfish in a bucket if you want them to join your village as well. I think it would be good to add a couple of other mod-based things as well as just animal-related, just to get them curious. Like, for example, we could have something that you can only find in the Atom dimension. So the player has to go to Atom. The same with Twilight Forest. We could get a thing where you have to go to Twilight Forest to obtain a particular thing. Like, it could be, yeah, a piece of steel leaf. It could be one of these ironwood ingots. It could be anything that we want, essentially. Ore magnets, which are always cool. One of the hardest ones would probably be the Naga scale, which will be somewhere in this. Somewhere. That moonworm is just really, I have to put that down. Moonworm. I don't know necessarily what it does, but moonworm. I think it just glows. I think it's just another little light source. You're doing like a cave. Oh, there we go. It's right at the top. Naga scale. Like that, you have to defeat the Naga to be able to get. You have to go into Twilight Forest and take on a boss to get one of these. So if a villager was asking for one of those, that would be a serious deal, right? That'd be like a, oh crap, I've got to go to Twilight and get a Naga scale. So if I search for it, oh, I'm picking everything up. There we go. If we just search Naga in here. So yeah, that's the Mousy's mobs Naga, which we're going to disable because we have the Naga from Twilight Forest, and I don't want there to be two Nagas. Or I could maybe rename this one and call it like Offspring or something like that. So yeah, the Naga scale is used to craft these lovely armors. So we might have it where one of them asks for the Naga scale. Hey Garby, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I think I might have it where one asks for a Naga scale. I know that is harsh. But it amuses me, and that's all that I care about. So we'll put that one in. The Twilight Forest, Naga scale. Okay. So let's just extend this outwards. Hey Jaden, welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a nice day, man. So Twilight Forest and then Naga _ scale. I think that will add in. Thank you very much. I don't think I added in. I did not. I am missing a couple of bits here. I need to repair. Okay, so that goes there. There, and then we need this one here. Twilight Forest and Naga scale. There we go, complete. Great day. So basically now, when you try and recruit any of the travelers, so any of these travelers that are in our tavern down here, whenever you try and recruit one of these, they ask for different things. So he wants quartz, this one wants a bunch of sunflowers. Any of these people that you can recruit to join your village, they will now ask for specific things. And now a couple of those things are mob based. So we have ostrich eggs, we have blob fish in a bucket, and we have the Naga scale. Naga scale is going to be the hardest one, I think, to obtain. Welcome back, 𝗘𝗙𝗚𝗚𝗚. At the moment, no, there isn't the dragon loot mod on here. I know that there is dragon scales that you can obtain from dragon loot. One of the things that I'm being careful of at the moment is adding in a lot of stuff that adds in new armor. The reason that I'm being cautious with it until like I do a lot of balancing is because the villagers that you have in your colony can wear that armor, the guards and stuff. So I need to make sure that it's Blob Fish. Woo! I need to make sure that it's balanced, so that any mobs that spawn don't just get absolutely decimated because the villagers are wearing the most OP armor. Obviously, it would take a while with Dragon Scale, so I'm not particularly too worried because it's netherite, right? You have to get like netherite armor, and then you apply the Dragon Scale to the netherite, and it gives you Dragon Scale armor, if I remember correctly. Which would mean that you would need a set for you, a set for each villager. You would have to go out and get netherite multiple times, and then fight the dragon. Essentially, like, well, it's per piece, so it's four for you, 4 for each guard. So it would be an undertaking. So at the moment, as you can see, we are only in leather. It's also limited by what level your barracks is at. So if we look in here, here we go. So there's only certain... So at the moment, I think she can wear leather and now iron because I've upgraded the thing. So for netherite, you would have to have a level 5, which is already like late game anyway, right? And then you would have to go out and get all of the netherite and the dragon scale. So I think it would be balanced. But that's like for another time doing the testing for that. Because it's I don't want to add something in and then overwhelm myself with all the testing. Some of the balancing will certainly have to be done in a playtesting stage as well by other people, because there are certain things that as a creator, because you've put the stuff together and then you've configured it and you've customized it, there are things that you know, like you've peeked behind that veil, right? You understand what's going on. So your approach to things, even if you're trying to look at something with fresh eyes and not be biased or anything like that, you kind of know. Yeah. Or the guards and stuff can wear armor. They'll request armor. So at the moment, one of our guards here is wearing leather, and a stone sword to defend the town with. Now I can probably put some stuff on to scale all of that. I could also be an absolute... I mean... You know what word I was going to use there. But one of those. I could be an absolute one of those. I could put something like Crimson Moon on. Crimson Moon, or Blood Moon, I think it's all called for Forge. Would be a configurable thing, and like every X amount of days we would get a blood moon come up and mobs would spawn everywhere. That would decimate a village, I think. So I could put that on and make it like a yearly event, like a purge night, which would be quite which would be quite fun. So yeah, there's things that I can do to try and balance things out. Even in funny ways. I kind of like the idea of a purge night. So, Dragonpox for now, I'm going to set to be something fire related. As opposed to it being a fire resistance potion, because I need to get the MBT tag thing for that. But I will have it where they do request something fire related. It can't be an artifact. That's too harsh. They just won't find them. A firefly jar might be interesting, though. I'll tell you what, for now, we'll do blaze powder. For now, we'll do blaze powder. Minecraft, blaze underscore. It's just at the moment. It's a fill-in area for this. So just blaze underscore powder. Like that. Dragonpox, Minecraft, blaze powder. And then at some point we will have it where we'll change that once I get the MBT checker to find out what the specific MBT tags are. This mod might not even allow for you to insert MBT tags. I think it will, but you can never tell. The blaze a blaze cake. So yeah, we'll figure something out. It should be a fire resistance potion. If the mod allows me to insert MBT, then we'll do that. If not, we probably will go with something like a blaze cake or something ludicrous, just for the fun of it. So there are disease-related things. Some of the other things that we can do in this, if we go all the way up, is we can add in more names. There is already a lot of names. One of the things that I have done is I am going to be removing that. So we don't have any sort of middle initials. So I'm not a huge fan of them in general. Just like in a name like Christopher T. such and such, it irritates me. Gameplay related stuff. So this is stuff that changes our core gameplay. We don't want the builders to have infinite resources. That would be terrible. Builders place construction tape. That's useful, so that will stay on. Fixer for chunks. Bad visitor chance. I might increase that to 5%. So it's the odds of getting like an evil visitor that will run off with resources that you give them. So when you're like trying to get them, they will just be like, nah, and just run away. Okay, so we've got a lot of extra bits in here. The builder block delay is good as it is. I'm happy with the building speeds. I do want it to take a while to make an established town. Initial citizen count is set to 4 at the moment. That I kind of feel is slightly too high. I think 3 might be better. But I'm going to leave it at 4. Hesitantly, I'm going to leave it at 4. Minimum level of the town hall has to be to allow teleportation to allied colonies. The default is 3, maximum is 5, minimum is 0. I think 3 is a good amount. You have to have an ally first. Research. Yeah, we don't need any to worry about that because that's all creative related stuff. Ancient tombs. Command related stuff we don't need to worry about either. Claims. That's all fine. Initial colony sizes and so on. Combat related stuff. There is minimum number of nights between raids 8. I have to go. Bye. Have a nice night, Jaden. Or day, wherever you may be. Do barbarians break through walls? True. Mob attack citizens is true. Max barbarian size 80. Barbarian difficulty 5. Okay. The night damage, PvP mode. My colonies PvP mode. Colonies can be destroyed and griefed under certain conditions. So that would be set to true. I think that if you were playing online with friends, you make yourself a little server. I think, like, if you've got a rival colony and they're like an enemy, they should be able to damage your city. Again, that would be something that other people would want to tweak if they wanted to tweak it and come in and reset it back to false. But I think it's kind of important that, you know, if you raid a city, you raid a city. Do barbarians spawn? Yes, of course. Barbarian spawn size, rangers. Okay, so we've got missions. Blocks players should be able to interact with in any colony. You're free to interact with dirt. That's it. Should colony protection be enabled? Of course. Seconds to time. Okay, fine. So it's important to note. So if we go over to our town hall, you can set having allies and enemies, right? Feuds and allies, and you can, if you're playing online, say I had my colony and Nimril had her colony, I could have Nimril as a ally. So when we both get to having level 3 town halls, she can just teleport to my place to visit, and I can teleport to hers. She can't damage anything in my place. Like, that side is disabled. The only time PvP stuff would be enabled is if I have a feud with them. So if they're added to my feud list, then they can damage my town. So that griefing isn't necessarily an issue in terms of just anybody can come to your town and grief. It's people that you have essentially agreed to have a feud with. Like, it's me against you. At that point, they can damage your town. Enabled mod tags. Okay, we don't need to worry about that for now. We may append this and add some more stuff in, but for now it's okay. So we've added in some diseases. We made influenza slightly less common, and I'm going to make it slightly less common again. I'm going to set it to 80. It was set to 100. Measles will increase to 15. And then we have Dragonpox, which has a base is weighted at 5, so it's 5% chance. Smallpox is 3, and then at the moment we have Brain Fart, which is a weight of 1 and requires a cup of tea to fix. we have our configs for studying. We haven't got a library yet to know if we want to change that, but we will at some point soon. List of blocks. We need to add copper into this. So I think the copper that we decided to keep was the one from all the ores. But we'll have to check to make sure that we ensure that the copper that we select is the copper that we have whitelisted, essentially. But I think it's the all the ores one. I have my tea. Well, that's good. You are not going to get brain farts. Items requested by tavern visitors. So, yep, we've added in ostrich eggs, we've added in blob fish buckets, we've added in the naga scale. Apple cinnamon. I'll accept it. It's an okay blend. Pathfinding, I'm not too concerned about at the moment. And then the request systems, which is that's all fine. Maximum amount of tries to request system will perform from try requests. Higher increases the server load. We don't want to set that too high for use on a server. Should the requested item be created resolved if possible when the player is required to resolve a request? This is a debugging tool. Should players be allowed to use the /MC colony request item reset command? The amount of ticks between retries of the request system for retryable requests. So we don't want that set too high either. And then should the request system show debug information in the debug.log, which, yeah, this is all debug related. We don't really need to be concerned about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to save that up into our default configs. And then we're going to head over to our default configs area because there is some other things that we want to do today. So we have, let's go over to our development to-do list. We still need to unify these ores. Have a little look. So, we need to disable Better Weather's acid rain. That's something that we can do now. That's an easy thing to add in. Mod dependent request for villagers. 50%. I think we're about 50% of the way through. With that, I'll probably add a couple more in. Okay, yeah, so let's find the better weather config. Okay, so better weather. That's our better weather seasons, which is another thing that we do want to edit. But I believe it's probably going to be under common that we need to go into. Let's just make sure that we can actually see what the hell's going on there. There we go. So acid rain settings for the world. We don't want this to basically be there at all. May need to be in client. Yes, we may need to be in the client version. Check in there. Yes. Pretty sure that contains the stuff we want to look at. Well, maybe it doesn't. Seems to all be Blizzard related. How loud blizzards? Yeah, this is just Blizzard related. This is all blizzards. All the blizzards all the time. Okay, destroy blocks, true. Specific block. Other blizzard sounds. Better weather, rain. Use seasons, yes. Rain type settings, default light rain in desert. There's a better weather server as well. Alright, that's the winter overrides. Don't want to worry about that for the moment. No, better weather doesn't have a server specific. So it doesn't look like there is just a default removal. Destroy block materials. Block destroy tick speed. Well, that's our season length, which we do want to change. We want to set that to 90 days in Minecraft. We want the seasons to last a while. The reason that we want them to last a while is so that there is enough time for snow to form and enough time for snow to melt before it jumps across to the next season. So if 24,000 is 10, I am not that great at maths, guys. So let's pull this up. 24,000, so we want to times that by 9, essentially. There we go. That's what we want it to be set to. That's 90 days, which is the same, essentially, as what a regular season is in, you know, real life. It's essentially 90 days, give or take. That way it kind of mimics real world a little bit. Unfortunately, not able to remove the acid rain. I may need to check with the mod developer for this and find out specifically on removing it, because in some mods they're just like, just delete this and it will get rid of it, but I don't know if this is one of them, so I will check that at another point. For now, we will go over to our area here, because I think one of these was, there we go. So I've actually increased it by 9. Maybe we've made it too long. Maybe we'll set it by 6 instead, so it's every 60 days. How about that? So 144. Well, it's 1.44 mil, right? So let's do that down here. There we go. I think that'll be sort of slightly better. So we'll just put in our $sign there, and I'll also write in increased times 6, and then we will put a strike through on that to know that that's done. Increase the timings at the university. That's all fine. That's sorted. Unify all the ores. That's something that we need to look at. Configure mousies is another thing that we need to do. Adjust the weights for a rise. That's something that we can do as well. So let's... don't think that is server specific, but we're gonna check anyway. Okay, cool. So let's go to config. Quark, Whaler, Forge, Surround. When dungeons arrive. There we go. So we basically want to reduce some of these things. I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to take everything down by around half. 2 750, so let's go 350. And 150. Okay. Railroads, upgrade aquatic. Upgrade aquatic may need some config in at some point. Nothing too drastic though. I just think that there might need to be a little bit of stuff added in. So for example, like this, I think upgrade aquatic adds in bedrolls, which we want to disable. Yeah. So I think bedrolls are pretty much the same as a sleeping bag. Yep. So we don't want those. So we want to basically disable those. We want to blacklist them from one being crafted. We don't want them to be crafted, so we need to remove the recipe for bedroll. I'm guessing all of these, yeah, are just... Yeah, so the default one is the one that we need to remove. We want to then disable the sale of bedrolls. So what we're going to do is we want to do that there to disable that so that you can't buy them. And then on top of that, we're going to want to go into Minecraft and then into script and then into our recipes section. And then this here, we'll just copy that, remove recipe, and we want to get the ID value for this. So upgrade _ aquatic : bedroll. Yes. I think that's all of it. Yeah. So, there we go. You won't be able to craft those anymore. I don't want people to be crafting lots and lots of different types. That's just basically nullified it from existence. You won't be able to accidentally come across it. You won't be able to accidentally craft it. Nothing's going to really reference it because it can't be made. So that's solved. Because we already have the sleeping bags. So we have all of our sleeping bag stuff. So if we get that, we get a red. No, bedroll. Get a red bedroll as well. So we have this here, which we've removed. So that there is the one that we've removed because we already have these, which apparently I'm just immediately going to sleep in as soon as I put it down. For some reason, may need to adjust that. I mean, sleeping's not really going to do anything, but you know we can sleep. So we don't really need to have this. when we have the ones from Comfort. So they've now been removed. We've just stopped them from existing. We've used a script to disable the recipe and stuff, so they will no longer appear. So that's that dealt with. That was something I wasn't even aware of until I was reading the upgrade 𝗥𝗚𝗚𝗚𝗏 stuff. So we'll go back into config, and we will take a look down here again. Upgrade aquatic, Union Twilight Forest, Tumbleweed. Tumbleweed, that's been configured already. The Traveler's Backpack has been configured. It also has a custom recipe, which we've put in, so that uses the sleeping bag from Comforts. So that's already been done. That's been changed. Security Craft I've not started playing with yet, so we will eventually probably come around to that. Mousie's Mobs, though, is one that I know that I definitely do need to go through. There are definitely some things that I want to change, if I can, related to biome. Yeah, so we have biome type here, Savannah. They should be spawning in other biomes as well. I don't think the biomes you go will stop them from spawning, because that's an override. So it's still technically a savannah, it just overrides the thing. But it's one of the things that we'll have to check. So I know that there are some that have spawned around here. There's like one over here. One of the encampments for it. I remember spotting it before, so I know there is one. There it is. So if we come here and press F3. Okay, yeah, so we're in a shattered savannah. So it does take them and still allow them to be pushed through, which is what we want. The reason that needed to be checked is because although I've seen the Barocca thing spawn... Can I get a shout out to my kids? They're graduating today. Congratulations, Knight's Path, and your children for graduating today. That's awesome. School is loads of fun. I genuinely really miss being in school, and I really miss graduating from things. It's nice to have that milestone to know that you've done really well. Make sure that Knight takes you out somewhere and gets you ice cream if it's sunny enough. You deserve a treat for graduating, right? That's something that he has to do for you. Just make it reasonable. Don't ask for a horse. Unless that's within your remit, Knight. It's up to you, mate. So... yeah, so these spawn in jungle, because I've not really seen a great deal of these. I want these to spawn in some other areas as well. So I'm gonna have to do that on like either that or float around a fair amount. We have a desert over here. Maybe we could just get on an ostrich and go for a little ride around. I wish we could take the kangaroo as a mount. There has to be a limit somewhere. There has to be. No, no pony for you. Okay, so that's a savannah village. Move past that. Okay, that's a boss down there, but that's one that I put in. It doesn't count. I'm doing this, and I could just do /locate biome jungle. There we go. Hey, Yeppy, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a nice day. Okay, so we definitely have things spawning here. We've got some leafcutter ants in the jungle. They're interesting to watch. Fascinating creatures. Oh, there's a fair amount of leafcutter ants as well. Nice. Okay. Yeah, see, the issue that I have with jungles and the fact that those things spawn here, I might move them over to spawn in swamps as opposed to jungles. Or rather, spawn them in jungles and swamps. So I'm not too sure. This mod pack actually has all the biomes you go, as opposed to biomes of plenty. I'm not a huge lover of biomes of plenty. I'm a champion of BYG. I find the biomes a lot more aesthetically pleasing. Let's put it that way. I did used to love Biomes of Plenty many moons ago, and then when this one came out, when Biomes You Go, I decided to make the switch, and I've not looked back since. So yeah, I don't see any spawning. At least not within this jungle. I don't see any of them. They are hard to spot because they are just green, right? So they're just like a green. Then I got cultured. Biomes of Plenty is, look, don't get me wrong, it's a great mod. Genuinely, it's one of the OG mods, Biomes of Plenty. I remember playing on that like 1.7.4, I think even pre 1.7.4. It is really good, but some of the things in there aren't that great for me personally, aesthetically, to look at and to travel through. The other thing that it does is the way that it overrides. So that has like a complete override of every biome. Whereas Biomes You Go is more friendly to other mods, because the way that it does the override is it takes a jungle and then does an override for that jungle, but keeps the stuff that would spawn in that jungle. So if you've got something that says, I spawn in jungles, Biomes You Go still allows it to spawn within that, because it's got like these sub things. So it's technically a type of jungle. And I much prefer the way that is coded. It's much friendlier to other mods than Biomes of Plenty's just complete rewrite. Biomes of Plenty might not do that anymore, but I know it definitely used to do complete rewrites. Whether it does still is up for debate, because I've not used it in a long time. They may have followed suit. Yeah, I don't see them. I am in a jungle though. We may need to make them just more common. I think they might just be too rare, because they should spawn in here. This is a vanilla jungle, so. Again, they are hard to spot because they just look like a plant until you get close to them. So spotting them can be a little bit tricky. But I'm sure there's one in here, but I want there to be like a few, and I think I also want to put them in swamps. If we head over to a swamp / biome locate. Oh, it's locate biome, isn't it? Locate biome swamp. No, this is Forge. So this mod pack's in Forge. Legends of Randomia is in Fabric. This one's in Forge. There are some things that I prefer Forge for, and some things I prefer Fabric for. Yeah, I think we're gonna add them in here as well, because if we go to Mousies a second, it's this one, right? The Goliath. I don't think it will stand out too much in here, will it? No. And I kind of think it kind of looks a lot like a plant that would be sort of in amongst swamp. And obviously when you get close to it, it would then grow out. So I think I'm going to add those into the swamp as well. We have a witch's hut over there. Because it has a similar look to these plants here, right? And they spawn quite frequently throughout the world in deserts. So I don't really need to worry about that. About them blending in. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to just add in the biome type in here. That's more my graphics card rendering for you guys on stream. It doesn't do it for me, but it does it on stream. It does the same with Discord, with a bunch of them. It's the renderer. I don't have the thing that actually comes up in game yet, so we're not actually using in-game view. It's more of a screen record, and that messes up with Java. Because I'm mostly coding, I'm not really playing. If I was to switch it over to game capture, as opposed to just screen record, you wouldn't see that flickering. But because it's on screen record and it's Java, it's just recording the screen, you get this like weird artifact. On this. So we want to check. Okay. Modeling. Yeah, modeling I'm good at. I'm not as good as some of my friends who have trained in the industry, but in terms of Minecraft modeling, I've done a fair amount of Minecraft modeling. As has Knight's Path. I remember going through and I think it was Knight's Path, a bunch of the modeling stuff for making Minecraft models. There are some things in Random Craft that are custom anvil models that use Optifine. So when you rename a particular thing, it changes its model and texture and stuff. Oh yeah, I look goddamn stunning in a bikini. The only reason I don't have high heels anymore is because my feet got too big. Of course, the online capabilities nowadays, it's probably much easier to get high heels in my size. Chimney's at Pother, Alex's mobs. So what else is on our to-do list? This should be fine now. Let's find where Mowzy's is. That there. We're going to go to, like, test stage for that. And then what we'll do is we'll set that into italic for now. There we go. Alter the better diving spawn rates. I don't think I need to be too concerned about that for now. That's medium. Disable the acid rain. Disable the exotic birds in Atom. That's something that we do need to check. So one of the things that we need to do is find out how we get to Atom, because I actually have no idea. So we'll have a quick look. The fact you wear high heels with a bikini is more disturbing than the thought of you in a bikini. I mean, in my wilder, younger days, 𝗘𝗡𝗜𝗚𝗠𝗏, there is a photo of me walking through Manchester city centre, and I know that you'll be aware of what Manchester city centre is. Wearing high heels, absolutely wasted. I was really, really drunk. It's a good sort of advertisement of why you shouldn't drink, guys. Oh, okay, so we make this little 𝗥𝗚𝗏𝗘 bugger and throw it in some water. Gotcha. So let's get that little 𝗥𝗚𝗏𝗘 bugger. Let's find where item is. Of course, that was back in my band days as well. I was a little bit wilder back then. There we go. Let's get the scarab. The only place where that would seem normal. There in Edinburgh. Edinburgh. I literally had a guy run over to me. I had a really big lumberjack beard. I'm just going to paint the picture for you here. He was about my height. He was like 6'4". Big, bushy lumberjack beard. Like, full on, like, full on big thing. Hairiest legs I've seen in a long time. And he was wearing military boots and a tutu and was running around giving everybody hugs. And it was the funniest thing. Okay, let's get some sandstone. And then water bucket. No, that's water. One of them there water buckets. We have a ball. Random ball. I'm just making it the same as what it was like in the picture. I didn't actually say you need to make it in that configuration, but, you know, must not be flying. Well, maybe you can't be in creative at all? Well, that scarab didn't work, did it? Cares not for it. I'm pretty sure it was that scarab. Oh, that's the same mode. Toss the scarab into the pool of water. Sounds like a theme from Camden. Yeah, Camden's kind of, to be honest, let's be honest, mate. A lot of the UK's like that. We're a wild bunch. The Scottish in particular, absolute mad lads. Love them. I like the purple biome. The purple biomes are, yeah, they're a couple of my favourites as well. The portal recipe. Does it have to be specifically too high? Because mine's only 1. So maybe it is structural. Maybe I just messed up on that. It just cares not for me. We may have to figure that out at some point, why that's not working. I mean, that is the same as his picture. I refuse to believe that it is not. But, yeah, that is definitely not making a portal right now. Throw it in with more gusto. Maybe don't throw it. Maybe you have to drop it. Nope. Let's try making one. Maybe it's because I gave myself the scarab in creative mode. Maybe that's something to do with it. Let's take those out and get some gold. Oh, and a crafting table. The physics shouldn't be a problem. They don't change anything. The item's still there and stuff. Like, it doesn't affect Twilight Forest, which is exactly the same schematics. I think that might be what the problem is, in honesty, is that Twilight Forest is the same design, portal-wise, but obviously on grass with the stuff. Right-click with the scarab. That's a fair point. I will try that before I do this. No, right-clicking with the scarab doesn't do anything. I can drink from the water, but yeah, it doesn't allow me to. I think it might be that it conflicts with. Yeah, because that is just still a scarab. I think it might be that it conflicts with Twilight Forest. I might change the portal design. That's the wrong design. The other way, right? Goes that way. Yeah. I think the issue is, so if we make a 2x2 in the floor here. Why am I doing this in survival? Make sure that's surrounded with flowers. And then throw in a diamond. There we go. So I think that's essentially what the problem is. Is they are... I've had both on a pack before. Yeah, but it depends on what version. That's the other thing you have to remember, Knight. It does change version by version. Because there's no reason why that should work and this not. Unless there's a conflict somewhere else. But I don't see why there would be anything else that would conflict with portal creation. So we may have to do some testing with that. I thought he was going to fall into my portal for a moment there. It's 3x3 in the image? It is 3x3 in the image. Let's try that. Let's put that up there. There we go. Thank you, Timesoft. Right, let's go in and check the exotic birds. Yeah, so we do get exotic birds here. So we need to pull out all of these. Although I think it'll only be desert birds. So we'll probably get like ostriches, roadrunners and stuff, but yeah, they should be pulled out. Time story. Timesoft, I want you to start streaming. And I want one of the days to just be called Time Story, and it's just you reading me stories. Ruined it. Dirty necklace. Wash in some water. Okay. So we know that the birds are a problem. So exotic birds needs to be blacklisted from spawning here. Because I've seen a roadrunner, but it does seem to be just roadrunners. And I've only seen one, which is peculiar. Ah, there we go. Ostrich. I'm gonna put a saddle on the ostrich to get around a little bit quicker. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll pull those out. 100%. We'll remove birds from inside Atom. We weren't too sure whether they would spawn in here, but they definitely do, so. Okay. Let's exotic. That's what we're looking for. Exotic birds. Blacklist spawning dimensions. Now we need to know what dimension we're actually in. I'm going to assume it's just Atom. I think it has to be in those. Pretty sure it has to be in those. Okay. Jump to our checker. No, I'm not going to keep the ostrich either. I don't want people to be able to move around it quickly. I don't think that it makes sense it to be like a barren wasteland that's filled with mummies and storm to make sense. So that is testing phase, and then set that into italic as well. Unify all the ores. We're about 50% of the way done with that. Better vanilla models, that's low priority, low priority. Acid rain, that's something that I need to do some checking on, so check on there. I'm also going to set that into bold, because that's something that I really need to look into. Damn sergeants here. Wondering about the place. Config mousing, that's test stage. Adjust the weights of a rise. We've done that. That needs to be tested as well. But I'm going to put that as a cross through for now. That I need to speak to Nim about. Restore chunk animation is done. Yeah, I think that's it for now, guys. That's a fair amount that we've gone through today. Those are things that I will get around to doing at some point. No, I don't want to reload it, thank you. So Atom will no longer have the bird spawn in it. I think what I'll probably do is I'm still working on sorting out the quest book. Like I'm going to be changing out some of the quest book related stuff, and I'll probably put things in like a guide to Atom or a guide to dimensions, or sort of cover how to quail. Okay, so quails survive in things, so maybe I won't blacklist the birds here. Like, if this has birds that spawn in here. It doesn't make sense why there would be only one type of bird. So maybe I will not blacklist stuff in here. Maybe we will keep in some of the... Because it's only the desert birds that spawn in here, so this is just all classed as desert. So we're not ending up with anything that is out of place. And if it has quails, I may as well. It has rabbits apparently as well. Damn rabbits. Then yeah, we may as well leave them in. So let's just remove that. Put it as a decide to leave in. So the only thing that really needs doing there is the guide, really, for Atom, because there isn't like I don't want people to have to go online and research tons of stuff. Somebody the other day suggested that a wiki page gets made for the random mods. And yeah, it definitely could, but I don't want to spend that much time doing that. It takes long enough to get all of these things done. And also, you know, sorting out content and doing recording and everything else. So if somebody else wants to start a wiki page and ask me questions, then I can certainly lend a hand, but it's not something that I'm going to be directly working on for mod related stuff. But the book for inside the game, I think that's fair. I think that's something that should be done. Is that ostrich stood on another ostrich? Oh no, he was just stood on the corner of the block. Okay. Let's just go for a little fly. Yeah, the birds don't spawn frequently enough for it to be a problem. One of the things that I might add in is... I believe it's part of Alex's mobs, I think. Which is a rattlesnake. And I know I can define those individually. Every single mob has its individual thing. So I may set it up. I may set it up where it's got rattlesnakes in here as well, because I think that will kind of add a little bit more desertiness to it. I'm getting a lot of messages. Okay, I think I can have just the title of the mod. Description, I can link to the other mods wikis. Well, the problem is with that is I have changed some of the stuff from the mods. So it wouldn't necessarily work to link to the other things, because I've changed stuff from them. Like Traveler's Backpack, for example. It's not the same thing that you make now. It's slightly different recipe-wise. It's the same for Pam's Harvest Craft. The tea that we craft in here now is different. Oh, we get some of the fish as well by the look of it. Yeah, we get some of the aquaculture fish spawn in here as well, which is nice. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll leave in a little bit of life in is probably going to be good then. I really like the colour of the water in here. So here's the next question. Let's go 80. Does Portal get put at 0 in this dimension? No. Portal does not get put at 0 in this dimension. Always an interesting thing to know whether it all goes to 0, because in some mods Portal is always set at 0. Yeah, there's a fair amount of changes in here, Nim. And we'll probably be continuing to do more changes next week as well. But that's going to be it for me today, guys. I've got some other things that I want to do. I'm going to be in armchair at the end of this stream, so if anybody has the luck of being certified to chill, they can join there. There's a goddamn camel! Yes. He didn't like me, which is a little bit upsetting. I am dressed for this place, I think. Yes, that's going to be it for me today, guys. It's always a ton of fun to do these. I will be doing them next week. There will be a continuation. We will constantly be doing tea sessions. There won't be one on Monday because it is Remembrance Day, and I have other things that I need to do on that day, family-related things, adult stuff. So there won't be one on Monday, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week, we will be continuing off with our mod morning tea sessions. And as always, I'll bring the brew, you bring the you, and we'll have some fun. Oh, also, between now and then, if you come up with anything, any ideas for any diseases at all, or anything that you think, oh, a villager should ask for this, because we can have them ask for things from Atom, I guess, as well. Remember, write it down, tune in next Tuesday, let me know, and I'll add them in on stream. How about that? Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
Next time, boxheads.